Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be going over lesson 12. And so I'm going to come up to here and I'm going to share my screen. All right, share my screen. And lesson 12, our goal is we want to count and change 10 ones for 110, 10 tens for 100, and 10 hundreds for 1,000. So how I'm going to show that is with a place value organizer. So I'm going to show you how this works, exchanging numbers using this organizer. So if you notice at the top, we have hundreds all the way to the left. Then we have tens in the middle and ones. I'm not going to worry about thousands right now because it's better to get the process, because once you know the pattern, then you'll be able to do hundreds to thousands pretty easily. All right, so I have 386. Let's go ahead and count 386 on my number chart. So we have hundreds, tens, and ones. How many hundreds are in 386? There are 3. So I have 1 chip, 2 chips, 3 chips. Now the important thing to show is I'm not using place value blocks. And when you use manipulatives like chips, then all the chips are going to be the same size. The only difference is that number in the middle. It's the next step of understanding quantities, where you see physical representations or physical pictures of it, but you don't see the exact amount. How many tens do I need now in 386? I need 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just going to put a 10 in each of them. Perfect. All right, how many ones do I need? I need 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 3 hundreds, 8 tens, and 6 ones. So now that we have those, I want to get to a number like we've been doing in class, where we go from a number to 500 or 600. We're going to do the same thing, except we're going to use a place value graph for that. So I want to go from 386 to 500. So what I'm going to do with this is I want to show you how we can turn ones into tens and tens into hundreds. So if I have 6 ones, how many ones do I need to get up to 10? I need 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So how many ones do I have now? I have 10 ones. So wouldn't it be possible to turn these 10 ones into one 10 chip? Because if I give you 10 pennies, would I be able to get back a dime, which is worth 10 cents in return? Would I have the same amount of money? Why would it be beneficial for you to have a dime instead of 10 pennies? You get to save space. Now, 10 pennies and a dime doesn't really sound too crazy, but would you rather have a $1 bill, or would you rather have 100 pennies in your pocket? 100 pennies might be pretty heavy, and especially if you go above $1, it would get a little crazy. So we're going to want to change the 10 ones into a 10 piece. And now this 10 piece will go into the tens section, because we don't want to keep a 10 in the ones. That doesn't make any sense. All right, cool. So now that I have this 10 here, I can just get rid of the ones. I already gave them away. I gave them away for a 10 piece. So I don't want to see them anymore. So now we're left with 300s and 9 10s. Now, since I'm trying to count to 500, if I add 10 more ones, can I convert them into a 10 like I just did with the 4 ones with the original 6? You definitely can. So now I'm going to exchange these 10 ones for another 10, which I'm going to put over here. All right, now that I put away my 10, and now that I made my 10 ones into a 10, I can get rid of the ones because I don't need them anymore because I already exchanged them or gave them to somebody for a piece of the same value. All right, so now I have 100, 200, 300. So I have 300s, and I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I have 10 10s, which is worth 100. Now, if I have 10 10s, can I make those 10 10s into a 100? You absolutely can, because 10 10s has the same value as 100. And if they have the same value and I make 10 10s into 100, I need to get rid of the 10s that I just converted to 100. I exchanged 10 dimes for a dollar. Now, we're still counting to 500, and I could make more ones and convert them into a 10, but why don't we just add a 100s piece? So now that we have completely empty 10s and 1s, let's just add another 100s piece. If we add that 100s piece, we get to our 500. So what's very important about this is the concept of when you have 10 of a value, you can go up into the next value and have one piece of that because we have a base 10 system. And when we have a base 10 system, we can do this easily. So 10 ones turn into 110. So 10 ones turn into 110. 100 ones turn into 10 10s. And 10 10s turn into 100. All right, cool. Now, the last thing I want you to do is on your exit ticket. Actually, this will be the last thing for this specific lesson because there's going to be another one right after this. Is I want you to write on your exit ticket, and don't submit it because you're going to have another question, is I want you to match the values. What are 10 ones equal to? What are 10 10s equal to? And what are 10 hundreds equal to? Awesome. And be prepared for the next video coming up in a couple seconds. I'll see you in a second. Hey, scholars. Today we're going to go over lesson 13 for math. Now, this is the second video, but I'm making it a separate video because I shot at a different time, which is why I did my introduction again. So don't worry about the introduction because you're still in the same video. So I'm going to go back and share my screen. All right. Our objective is I can read and write numbers within 1,000 after modeling place value disks. Now, read and write doesn't mean writing the numbers in word form. It just means writing the numbers in number form with place value disks being a tool to help you. So now I'm going to go to my blank page so we can start learning about this cool stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to model using disks. So I'm going to give you a number, 129. So So the first thing I want to do is, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'm going to label everything. I like to label everything so you guys can see consistently what goes where. Bless me. Okay. So all the way at the right, we have ones. And then we go to tens, and then we go to hundreds. This is the order I'm going to want to see every time because it makes the most sense, and it's how we've been learning place value blocks. So I like to start from left to right when I'm writing these numbers with the discs. And if you remember, the disc that we have here, they are all the same size. They do not change. And the reason they do not change is simply because we're working with manipulatives that don't have exact size anymore. So how many place value discs in the hundreds place do I need for 129? I need 100. How about the tens? How many place value discs do I need for tens? I'm going to copy this, make it easier for me. I need 2. And they don't have to be the same exact size. Like if one looks like this and one looks like this, I'm not going to be too worried about it. Just try to make them as close as possible. And then how many ones are we going to need? We're going to need 9 because there is a 9 in the one spot. So 1, 2, 3. Oops, not paste image. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Notice how I drew them like a 10 frame. So I drew 5 and then 5. That is an easy way to see that you have 10 or less. And if you're working with place value and you're in the ones, tens, or hundreds, or even thousands or above, you shouldn't have more than 10 of something because you're going to have to take it over to the next area, which I showed you earlier. So let's go ahead and count them together. 100, 110, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, and 129. So we did get the right amount. And like I said, you don't have to have them labeled, but you don't have to have the top label, but you do need to have the number in here. So now we're going to use this 129 and we're going to create an arrow problem with it. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see both problems. So I'm going to draw myself an arrow, a line, and we're going to start at 0. Now what we're going to do is going from the biggest number to the smallest number, we're going to get to 129. So how many hundreds do we have? 1. So I'm going to draw a big 100 jump. Now, how many tens do we have? We have 2. So I need 2 medium-sized lumps. And how many ones do we have? We have 9. So now I need 9 little lumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then after we have all those, we have 100, 110, 110, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, and 129. So now that we know we're right, we're going to put a 129 here. And that's how you do the arrow method with this particular problem. It will be on any exams we do, so make sure you know this. So You notice how I made the 100s bigger than the 10s and the 10s bigger than the ones? I want you to do that too, but don't think it has to be exact. It doesn't have to be exact. I just want to see there's a difference between 100, there's a difference between 10, and there's a difference between 129. All right, good. Now we're going to go to the next part, and we're going to draw place value discs to show numbers. So I'm going to start with number 43. So what we're going to do with 43 is we're going to draw a chart. I'm only going to draw 10s and 1s because we don't have hundreds. So how many 10s discs do I need? I need 4. 1. Actually, I already made these. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Don't forget to put the 10 inside them. If it's easier for you, you can draw one, then put 10, draw one, then put 10. If you want to draw all of them and then put the numbers, that's fine too. And then for ones, I'm going to need 3 of them. All right, let's count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43. So we know we got the right answer. And now that we have that, let's go ahead and practice with the arrow. All right, so we're going to start at 0, remember? And now we're going to go by our biggest number. Do we have any hundreds? No, we have no hundreds. So we're going to go by tenths first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 10, 10, and 10. We went by 4 because we have 4 tens. Now we have ones. We need 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1. Notice they're not exact, but you can tell my tens are bigger than my ones, which is important. Now let's count them together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43. 43. I was going to try to make a lighter voice for the ones, but it only happened for one of them, so sorry. All right. Good. Now we're going to have a question for you to do on your seesaw. All right, this will be the second question on your seesaw assignment. You can either write it on paper, you can record it, you can type it, or you can draw it. I think I would recommend the paper and taking a picture because I think that'll be easier. Okay, so what I want you to do using this chart. So we have ones, hundreds, and tens. I want you to figure out, oh, wow, that's weird. Whoops, Mr. Cannon made a mistake. It's okay, we all make mistakes. And even if you made this mistake, I wouldn't be mad or anything. It's just we got to correct ourselves. So I'm going to draw a table. And what I want you to do is use the arrow method to figure out this number. I need to see the arrow on your paper. And if you need extra practice with this arrow method, just rewind the video a little bit and watch me do it again. But we're going to do some in class too. So you need to tell me, you need to write this in your arrow on your line, and you need to tell me what number it is. All right. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.